Hello my fellow developers. So after working on the categories in the previous videos, now we're going to work on subcategories, and believe me, it's the easiest thing ever because it's very similar to categories, just one property that is going to be different. So yeah, let's go work on it. So the first thing I want to do is go back to our schema Prisma right here and actually add the model for subcategories. So for the subcategory, I'm just going to name this subcategory right here. Actually just give me and this way. Okay, so subcategory. So we have the same information. It's going to take the ID, name, image, URL, featured, created ads, updated ads, but the only thing that we need to add is going to be the relationship to the category, because every category can have multiple categories. Remember this, every category can have multiple children, which is called subcategories, and then each subcategory gotta belong to a category, because we cannot create a subcategory that doesn't have a parent category. That's the idea of understanding how this works. So for simply, if I go to category, it's gonna have subcategories. So I can just go right here and say, actually gonna have it under here or between. I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna have it under. Or actually, I like to keep always the created ads and updated ads at last. This is just personal preference. So I'm just gonna go here, and this one is gonna have subcategories. Okay, subcategories like this. So subcategories, I forgot an O right here. So the subcategories, what are gonna be? Just simply an array of subcategory. Simply, this is the relationship how you create it, and then you add a relation here, and then you name it. For this one, we're gonna call it category to subcategory like this. When you do that, it's gonna be on both. Okay, so I need to each subcategory now gotta belong to at least one category, and to belong it to the category, we're gonna link them with the category ID. So right here, all I need to do is add the category ID right here. So it's gonna be that. So the category ID is gonna be a string right here. Then after that, we're just gonna add the relation, and the relation is gonna be between the category and the subcategory. So we gotta specify the category here, and then the relation is gonna be, so let's add annotation right here of relation, and we have to specify the name of the relation, and they simply specify which fields are connected, and this one is going to be the category ID. So the category ID right here, and it references what? So references the ID that I have there. Okay, so every category is gonna subcategory gonna have a relation to the category that's related them, and is gonna be related by the subcategory. So the subcategory right here reference the ID that we have here. That's how you read it. Okay, so we have the relationship there, but because we are using this the category ID here, it's gonna say that the subcategory, this field declaration is invalid. It's either missing a name or a type. Okay, so we have category right here. Yeah, I didn't specify the model here, my bad. So category like this. And when we do that, we're going to have an issue here that says when we have relational mode Prisma, the foreign keys should be also specified right here. So at the end, we have to index them. So we need the add index, and then we add the category ID right here. So I repeat, the same thing right here. So the category is going to have subcategories inside it, and each subcategory is going to be related to a category parent by the ID. And the category ID that we have right here represents an ID of this category right here, so you can understand it. So the category ID always going to be one of these IDs here. Okay, and yeah, that's it. It's very simple. I don't know why I'm explaining it too much, because I just like things to be clear. Okay, so let's actually apply this effect. So I'm just going to go down on a Prisma and then format first, so we can have everything formatted. Okay, now everything is formatted. Okay, and then now we have to go Prisma and then generate. So this one is gonna generate our new Prisma right here. What else? We need actually to push also to GitHub. We need to push our database to db push. That's gonna push the new schema also to our local database. Okay, so right here, because when you use generate, it generates the types, it generates it like for internally for the application, but it doesn't change the schema of your database. To do that, you have to use the db push. That's gonna go to your local database, and it's gonna sync it with your Prisma schema. Okay, that's it. So now let's close this, and let's actually go now. And what we need to do, I'm gonna go back. So after categories, next to it inside the admin right here, I'm gonna create a new page, and this one is gonna be called subcategories. So subcategories like this, and let's click enter. So for this one is gonna have page.tsx. This one is gonna be just RFC, and let's call it admin subcategories subcategories, admin subcategories page like this, and this one we can call this subcategories page. Okay, so now if I go back to my application, try to access the subcategories, we need, oh actually I didn't run my application, my bad. Let me go and go bundle, and let's refresh here and let's see what we're gonna get. So give it a second, and now we are inside the subcategories page. But we don't start with this. As always, we need the new page. We need it to actually create the form, etc. So that's why we go inside subcategories, create a new folder. We're gonna call it new, and inside of this one, we're gonna have a page.csx and then RFC, and we can call this admin and then new and then subcategory page like this. And this one is gonna take what? It's gonna take the form. So we need to create the form, okay? That's very important. But because we need also to send the categories to them, but let's not do that now. So admin new subcategory page. I'm gonna go now and just copy the form. So I'm just gonna go right here. Where is it? So components, and then I'm gonna go to dashboard, then form, copy this one, paste it, and let's remove the copy here. And this one is gonna be subcategory details, okay? And then let's close everything. Make sure now we are in the subcategory details form, and we need to change the name. So I'm gonna go to category details. I'm gonna change that to not category details, but it's gonna be subcategory details like this. So this is the first thing we have to do. Now the data that we're gonna send is gonna be what? Is gonna be type of subcategory instead of category. So subcategory, and right here in the import, which is gonna remove category from the Prisma client. And then we have to go one by one, okay? So let's not confuse things, one by one. The first thing that I want to change is the schema. So category form schema, we need now to change it to the subcategory schema. So subcategory schema like this. And we need to change that. So for the subcategory schema right here, we need to actually create that, but it's very similar to what we have. So it's not going to be a lot of work. We need to just simply replace all right here and just go on top here. So instead of you're actually going to import it from there exactly. So we're going to go inside here. I'm just going to copy paste this and just simply space between them. This one is going to be subcategory, and then also this one subcategory schema. And simply it's going to be the same, but instead of name is going to be, we're going to change that all of it to subcategory. And also the last thing that we need to add is also going to be the category ID, because every single one of them is going to have a category ID for the parent. And this one is going to be z.string right here. And those string, and we're going to make sure is an ID. How do we make sure? We use the function UUID, which is going to say if it's an actual ID or not. That's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste, because I'm not going to go to every single one of them and change the name to subcategory. You can do that, but I'm just going to paste it right here. So as you can see right now, name, subcategory name, etc. So yeah, very usual. So the only difference is that we are adding the category ID right here. That's it. So let's close the schemas, go back to our form right here. Let's continue. So for the default values, so let's start from top. Okay, so the default values, everything the same. The only thing we need to add is the category ID, which also going to be the data.category ID. Save right here, go down. And then also for form.reset, also the same category ID, then category ID. Sorry, from the data first, so data.category ID like that. And then also for submitting right here, we need also to submit one thing, which is, or using the upsert, so we can't use that. We need to use the upsert subcategory function. Okay, so let me check first what I need to change here first. Update, let's go subcategory, and then let's create a subcategory. You can edit. Actually, this is gonna be a long day. This is very boring. You're not gonna learn anything new because you already know how to do all of this and you learn this. But so subcategory page, okay, that's cool. And then simply the image is going to be the same, nothing changing. Name, and this one is going to be also subcategory name, that's cool. Then subcategory URL, and then right here the placeholder is going to be subcategory URL. I may miss something, but you can fix it for yourself. This is not something that's very important. We just gotta change the names now. Subcategory, create subcategory. And yeah, that's it. Most of the things are done right now. The only thing that is left is the function, which is the upsert subcategory. So we need to to work on that. So to work on that is going to be probably the easiest thing ever, because all I can do, close the components, go back to my queries and take the category and just copy paste it and make sure this one is called subcategory like this and click enter. Now we need just simply to update one by one. We're going to leave the other functions there if we need them. If not, in the future, we're going to delete any function that we don't need. Okay, so now it is actually quite the same thing, so it's not going to be a lot of work. So let's just actually change. First of all, we're going to work on the absurd category first. We're going to change it to absurd subcategory. Okay, and then the comments right here is going to be the same thing. It's going to be level admin only, and the description. So I'm just going to do it for you, so to not bore you out. I'm just going to paste it, just changing category to subcategory, that's all. And then right here, instead of category, it's going to take the subcategory. Okay, and then instead of category right here, it's going to take the subcategory from Prisma client. The same thing, get user, make sure the authentication is there, and also make sure it's an admin. And then if there is no subcategory right here, then we're gonna say please provide your subcategory data, and then also ensure subcategory data is provided. And then the existing category now is going to be existing subcategory right there. Okay, and this one is going to be subcategory find first, and this one is going to be also subcategory. So subcategory.name, subcategory.url, and then subcategory.id. And existing category is going to be existing subcategory. And let's just keep going, guys. I know this is going to be boring. This is going to be subcategory.name, subcategory.url, and then the name there. So I'm just going to actually just copy this. So I'm just going to copy this one like that. So subcategory, and then simply we, sorry guys, my voice is gone after recording for like a few hours. So now right here, absurd subcategory to the database. This one is going to be subcategory details, and then simply we're going to go with DB, and then this one is going to be subcategory. As you can see, it's very simple. And then right here, instead of category, it's just going to be subcategory, and then subcategory, and then returning the subcategory details like this. It's just copy paste it right here, guys. Yeah, just changing the name. It's actually the same, is no difference. And don't worry, when we updating right here and or creating, the subcategory does have the category ID information, so you don't have to worry about that. If I missed something right here, no, it's just like I have to change the name from category to subcategory. That's all there is to it. So you can just simply go to any place here and check if we have category there, just space between them. Yeah, we have, well, actually that's not it, that's fine. So we have done it right. So close that. The rest of here, we're gonna need them later, and we're gonna update them as we go along, okay? But simply now we have updated that, and we have to go back now to our form and update the function here from the absurd category to absurd subcategory. Go to the top and then look for the imports, and then remove this one, and instead of it, add this one there, okay? And let's go back here, and let's say the only thing that it needs now is the category ID. That's why the issue. So you're gonna go values, and then those category ID like that. So now you'd say we are done, but actually we aren't, because we don't have, okay, my voice is actually going, guys. Come on, let's get it, guys. So I'm just gonna go and change subcategory here. And then what we need to do for this one is also gonna be subcategories. There's a few things that we have missed here. And this one is going to be subcategory information, and yeah. So now let's work on the most important thing, and if I forgot just to change the name, that's totally fine. So the thing that we have to do is actually, first of all, we need to have like a select input, okay? That select input we just simply use to select the category that this category belongs to. So if we go back now and go to the new subcategories page, we click there. And as you can see, it shows nothing because we haven't added there. So we need to add this there. So let's go to the top, take the subcategory details, go to new here, and just add this here like this, self-closing tag like this, import it. We don't need to pass any data because this is for creating a new one. And as you can see, we have subcategory information here. So right here, it takes the image, the name, and then the subcategory URL, and then is it featured or not. So the last thing that we need to do is actually just simply having like a select option to choose from one of the categories we have to make it apparent for the subcategory, okay? So I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna just change this to uppercase here. Or you can actually just make it something like with this one. something if you want to. This is all totally up to you. Maybe having like a dash between them is better, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep going right now. So we have to pass the categories. We need to pass them to the component itself, so we have to actually get them right here. So we have to go here and actually get them. So we're just gonna go here and then const and then categories and then await and then get all categories, all categories. Like so from the queries categories, okay, we're gonna make sure this function is asynchronous, and this function is already there, so we don't have to, you know, do it again because it's already there. We have the categories there, and then simply gonna take these categories and just add it right here, okay, like that. And then we have to go back to the subcategories details here, and we have to specify that in the props right here, it takes also the categories, which is an array of category, like that. So this is an array of category this way. So we have added that there. That's cool. Now we have to actually map through them and show the select input. So to do that, that's quite simple. Let me just go back to details, and then we have to specify where do we want to add them. Let me close all the form field. So this is for featured. I feel like it should be just before featured. Featured should be the last one. Maybe that's the best way to go about it. Okay. So let me just check. Okay, so I'm gonna copy like anyone. So I'm just gonna copy any form field right there. Actually, I can't copy it at the end, as I told you. It's gonna be before featured. So let's have it here. And this one is gonna be the category ID. So for this one, we can choose and call it category. So category like this, and this is in the form control. We're not gonna have an input there. We're just simply gonna have select in from components UI, and in this select right here is gonna be disabled. So it's gonna be disabled what? When it's loading. So the same is loading, okay? And also it can be disabled when we don't have any categories. When categories, I actually need to extract them here. We didn't extract them from the props, my bad. So we can go right here and then extract also the categories, go back, and when categories dot length is equal to 0, okay, like this. It should be disabled because we don't have a category to choose from. And then this takes on value change, and on the value change, that means when we select like a certain item from the categories, okay? So when we select something there, what we have to do, just pass the field on change, and it does everything for us, okay? And then after that, then the value, which is going to be just simply value, and not value, is going to be field dot value, okay, like this. And then the default value, default, not open, the default value is gonna be the field dot value, okay. And then inside of this select, and then we're just gonna have with the form control should be inside select, okay. Form control should be inside select like that, and inside form control we're gonna have a trigger which we click to actually open the menu to select from. So we can go select and then trigger right here from, make sure UI select from the component, not from Radix UI. I repeat, always just get it from the local components we have, okay. So for the trigger right here is gonna have the value, which is by default there. So from here, the select value, just a self-closing tag that just needs the default value, which is going to be field.value. So field.value, okay. And if it's not there, just simply going to have a placeholder, which is what's going to be mainly there, which is going to say select category. So select a category like this. So a category like this, and then after the trigger right here, this is going to be used to open. And then after the form control, I'm just going to have the select content, okay, from components right here. And then now we need to map to our categories. So categories.map, we're going to get every single category right here. And then simply right here, we're going to return, can go inside here and return a select item also from components UI. And this one is going to take a key, which is going to be the not the categories, just category.id, the one we are mapping through. And then it needs the value, because this is the value that is going to update in the category ID, which is going to be the category ID. So category.id. So whenever we choose it, it's going to set the value for the select is going to be the value passed here, which is going to be the ID of the category. And right here is going to be just that label. So right here we can just have the category.name like this, okay. And that would work. So that's it, and we have the form message, etc. So now let's actually see if it's gonna be there. So let's go back, and yeah, we can go down and we have select category and we have shirts right here, and you can select it and it will select and make sure it's at the shirt there. So let me show you a way to actually check the data that is changing live. So if you go right here to the form, you can just go form, or is it? So this is our form right here. As you can see, we can extract from the form set there. We can also extract count, and then let's call this form data, and it's gonna be form.form state, and then we can actually access a lot of information right here, but I don't think from here. We just gotta go form.watch. Yeah, .watch, and we run this function, and we can just console log the form data there. And simply now, if you go to the browser, you will actually able to see the changes live. So if you go back and inspect right here, and oh, you're not gonna be able to see this. Let me zoom in, go to the console. Now anything you change right here, so let's say you type something in the form data, you can see right here we have the category ID that we choose, and also we have the URL we have just added, and if any information you haven't added is going to be undefined. And if you try to submit, of course we have the validation until you add the name, and then also the same for the image. So now let's try and see if this is gonna work or not. So what we need to do, let's select an image here, a random one, and let's just select this and say done here. And then for the category is gonna be shirts. This is so random. I have shoes inside shirts. Okay, this is just so random, guys. I'm just gonna try to have I don't have any particular images. I'm trying to, let's choose, actually this is bad. Let's just choose this one again. And yeah, we have shirts. Okay, so the subcategory that is going to be inside it is going to be polo shirts, for example. Okay, you know the deal. We're just trying to we can actually have the hyphen there on the name, of course, and then polo. I don't even think this is how you write polo, but you know, I'm good at coding, not spelling. So we're gonna make this featured, and it's gonna belong to the category shirts. So create the subcategory. It's done. Congratulations, polo shirts is now created, and we are redirected to the subcategories page. And if you go to Prisma, I don't think we are running it now. So let me just go and run it. So bun and then Prisma Studio right there, and just simply let me go right there and just close this one. Go back to our browser and open it again. And as you can see, let's close the category, open the subcategory now, and we have a new subcategory. As you can see, the ID, the name, the image, etc. And as you can see, there is the category here. So if you click on it, it's going to redirect you to the category it is that has a relation with it, which is shirts. Okay, and you can see all the information of that category. So this is beyond easy now, guys. You know the deal. We have done it. In this video, we have done a very important part to continue, and in the next videos we will do the same. So yeah, love you guys. See you in the next videos as usual.